Thrilled to have back here on the Rich Eisen Show is the star of the Kominsky Method, which can be seen for streaming in its third season on Netflix coming up this very Friday. He is Michael Douglas on the Rich Eisen Show. How are you, Michael?
Good, Rich. Very well, very well. Traveling a
So,
little more, a little flexibility. I think everybody's just happy to spread their wings a little bit.
spread their wings a little bit. Absolutely. I totally agree with you. But hey, there's still enough time to sit inside and watch the Kominsky Method. So we got that going.
Yeah,
You
you
can
can
do
do
that.
it by yourself. You don't have to have empty bleachers.
That's true.
You just do it all by yourself.
Exactly right. I don't know if you caught anything as you were going on about your business coming up for this big release week of the show, but Madison Square Garden was hopping for the Knicks this past week. Do you have any good memories of going to Madison Square Garden, seeing any games from?
I sure do. I mean, the Knicks were my team years ago. And between Bill Bradley, Dave DeBusschere, Earl the Pearl, I mean, it was just spectacular. So it makes me really happy to see this pleasant turnaround on this season. I think it was unexpected. Things we're hoping, but maybe they got the right coach, and everything seems to be moving well. So it's exciting. I'm a Heat fan, and Pat Riley and I have been old buddies for years and years, and have followed him. And I'm sure they're getting warmed up for when Milwaukee comes to Miami to figure out what the hell to do.
Yeah, that's an interesting, so the relationship with you and Pat Riley, does that stem from Wall Street? Because a lot of people thought that you looked like Pat Riley and Gordon Gekko had the Riles lid and everything else about him.
I actually, it did, because one of the last character decisions that I made about Gordon Gekko was when I was down visiting Pat in Miami in one night, and Pat loves cars, loves hot rods, like I love hot rods. Mm-hmm. And he has a couple of beautiful old 47 Mercs, beautiful convertible 47 Mercs. And I was, one night we were in Miami, and I was sitting in the back seat, and Pat was in the front seat with his wife, Chris, and the top was down. I was watching Pat, and I said, damn, his hair isn't even moving. His hair is like, the top is down and everything else. And I said, this is I said, for Gekko, Gordon Gekko. So I stole my hairdo from Pat.
No kidding. Is he aware of that?
Oh, yes, he is. He's happy to tell you. Right after he introduced himself, Pat Riley, Miami, the ring, he goes, yeah. Recognize Gordon Gekko. Right?
Yes, I love that. Wow, that is phenomenal. So, so you go back with Pat Riley, and thus a Miami Heat fan right now. Is it true your football team is the Jets, though, Michael?
Yes, it is. Okay. Yes, it is. I don't have a paper bag over my head.
But it's just why the Jets? Where did that come from? Where's that?
Joe Namath, man, Joe Namath. I was a Giants fan. I was a Giants fan, and then was it Super Bowl III when he made the big prediction and they won? And I said, between this guy, and he wasn't afraid to wear the fur coats and the white shoes, and he had the girls, and you didn't hear about training, and he just seemed to be enjoying himself so much. So I became, that's a long time to be hoping for something else to happen. Super Bowl III.
It's been a long time for the football gods have just been kicking Jets fans in the nether regions for half a century. But Namath is one of my favorite people I've ever met on the planet. He's another now South Florida guy. Have you ever crossed paths with Joe Namath in your days, Michael Douglas?
I have. I mean, I have it. At Jets games and stuff over the seasons. Always handles himself very well, charming guy, and it looks good. He's got to be 84, 85.
He's just I think he's ageless. I don't know what age he is. I think he's one of those guys that just never ages. God bless him.
That's sort of what we feel like about on the Kominsky Method, Rick. So it's for all time.
I know. And I'd love to get to that in here on the Rich Eisen Show. I've got Michael Douglas. What have you learned about, I guess, life or yourself or anything of that, I guess, nature through your work on the show and what your character's gone through the first two seasons and now this third one, Michael?
Well, I like my job. I'm really happy after 50 years in the biz to say how much I still really enjoy acting. And for me, the Kominsky method was, amongst other things, was an opportunity and a chance to try out my comedic chops, which is something I'm not necessarily known for. No, it's something that I've done very often. But, under this great writing of Chuck Lorre and the wonderful cast he put together, it was a chance to try to understand about comedy, about comic timing, comic delivery. Comedy is much more difficult to do than drama. I think that's why we all tend to cherish our friends that are funny, because we don't have as many funny friends as we've got serious friends. So it's a great ability. And so this third season now, and really was originally a 2-season commitment with Alan Arkin. And then I was having such a good time in this sort of ensemble format, working with this wonderful cast and these great scripts. I really wanted to do another season. Alan, I think, had it. He's 10 years older than I am, and so it's hard work. But Chuck and we all decided to put on another season together. I'm really happy about it. It's coming out on Friday, May 28th. And I guess what the reminder for me is I really haven't done this is a streaming show, but it's just close to like a television series, except it's a half-hour show now. There's no commercials. So you can be, half-hour show can be 25 minutes long. It can be 40 minutes long. It really doesn't matter. And it's fabulous in the sense that we also, in the Kominsky method, we go directly in real time from one episode to the next. So yeah, when you do only 6 or 8 episodes, streaming becomes a really big part of this, and people seem to inhale the series in one swoop.
It's a good way to put it. It's a good way to put it, just to inhale and take it all in. And obviously that's the benefit of being on a streamer like Netflix. So and for fans, who might hear that, well, you don't do comedy that often, it's pretty cool to see you with Kathleen Turner back on the screen as well, from the Romancing the Stone days. And how did that come about? Was that part of the reason of casting her in the role?
I think so. When Chuck Lorre, our producer and also wonderful writer, first was talking about this character he was going to bring in, which was an ex-wife, two people who hated each other. And all I could think about was the War of the Roses and Kathleen. And I said, well, this is great. This is like a continuation exactly in time, 30 years later or something, from that marriage with Kathleen. So, and it's just a joy. One of the benefits, Richard, when you worked with somebody before, is you know each other's rhythms, and so we've seen each other over the years a bit, check in and all of that, but haven't had a chance to work together. And you just picked up like that. It's that comfort factor of knowing each other. You can step on each other's lines. You don't have to go through that formal introductory period of meeting each other, and you're just comfortable. So it was a great plus, and she nails it. She just kills it. Kathleen does a great job.
So what film did you see or TV show during the pandemic that you're flipping around and then you saw yourself on the screen? And it's something maybe you hadn't seen in a while, and you're like, wow, that's right, I did that. Or you just
there's a few of those, man. Let me tell you, I'm just so happy I could actually see it. It helps you remember where we are. I guess The Ghost in the Darkness, which is a picture I haven't seen in a while, which is a film we shot down in South Africa, where I played a great white hunter, which was a difficult shoot, but a very pleasant being in South Africa, and enjoyed that a lot.
Okay, so that's
creep up on you now. I got 50 years in there, and so probably about 60 plus films, and then a couple of the series. So they creep up on you.
Okay, and then what's the one that you get a residuals check from every now and then? You're like, what's the first one? What's your first the first residual check?
My first residual check was probably my first 2 or 3 movies, I didn't get any residuals.
That's right.
It
Okay.
wasn't because it wasn't a contract. It was just that they were such turkeys that we didn't go. But I'd say Romancing the Stone was probably a first big wow.
Okay.
Look at this show business. I love it.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, I have my residual check from my CSI Miami appearance right here. It's $4.94. I cashed this baby. There's no question about that.
Sure, but the frames and it costs 3 times that.
That's right. Yeah, I've got it. It's definitely, there's no doubt, definitely a framer. What's your favorite sports movie, Michael? You got one of them? Like where you?
Well, let me think for a second. I got it. I mean, I like, well, you call it. I love Chariots of Fire, which was certainly good. Hoosiers was a lot of fun too. I must say, I love that.
And then, which film of yours would you love to revisit and do your character again, or know where they are right now? Which one would you be curious to revisit and know which Michael Douglas character is?
Characters, what they're doing again. I got a couple. It was one picture called Black Rain, where I played a New York cop in Japan, which I'd love to know what the hell happened to him. I also, there's a picture I did called Wonder Boys, where I played a literary professor down at Carnegie Mellon, and hopefully he's still alive too. Those are 2 that come to mind. Well, but I'm not a big. I love the process, Rich, of making movies.
Yes.
I don't see them. I mean, I'll see it one time either at the premiere or preview, and then, as you say, maybe catch it on television once in a while. But I'm not a big film buff. I mean, I love movies. I always check out about award season, but unfortunately, I'm a sports and news junkie.
Okay.
I waste an infinite number of hours watching pretty much any sport and most news.
Okay, well then that's great. So do you have a prediction for the Jets in 2021, Michael Douglas? What do you think?
Yeah, they're gonna win more games than they did last season.
There we go. You're really going out on a very, very thick limb right there. But you know what? You could do this for a living, Michael. With that sort of prediction
like that, right? You can go wrong.
Yeah, we could swap roles. I could do that, no problem.
We still got room on the Kominsky method. I don't know. You could give. I've never seen Paul Reiser on the thing. You could give Paul a good run for his money.
Okay,
good.
I'll take him out, but at the meantime, I'll just enjoy watching him coming up on Friday with the latest season. Michael, thanks for the time. I always appreciate you giving me some time. Big fan of your work, especially this show. And let's do this again after the Jets win the Super Bowl this year. How's that sound?
I love it. Have a great week.
You too. That's Michael Douglas here on the Rich Eisen Show. Check out the Kominsky Method coming back on Netflix this Friday.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.